On the battlefield, the silver-haired maiden fights a terrifying thunder snake alone. Watching from afar, her sisters watch in horror, screaming, she can't hold on in this state. In this life-or-death moment, a strange serenity flashes through Tai Bai's mind. Flowers drift in the wind, the last sanctuary in her heart untouched by lightning. Reality hits hard. A million lightning bolts crash down. Just as she is about to crumble, a blue figure tears through the sky. Fists smash the destructive light. Master has arrived. As the storm pauses, Tai Bai bows her head, her clenched hand trembling. Overcome with guilt, she whispers, "I'm sorry, Master. I got lost in thought." Cold sweat runs down her face. 1 second later, she would have perished. Ibe looks grimly at the giant vortex above. Since we interfered with the imperial tribulation, the heaven's wrath won't settle easily. Dark clouds loom. A despair named No Return shrouds the land. Clutching her chest under the heaven's crushing weight, Tai Bai can only admit her fault, unable to meet her master's gaze. Suddenly, Yi Bei charges straight into the storm. Tai Bai screams in terror. "Master, what are you doing?" Then she realizes it's not suicide, it's ambition. He's using the tribulation to refine a treasure. The disciples watching from afar panic. Seeing that figure swallowed by the most terrifying lightning core, someone trembles. Should we go up and help Master? Stop! Tai Bai snaps back, her eyes sharp as blades. She knows the danger. No one interferes. If Master is truly in danger, I will split this cloud myself. Deep in the thunder cloud, it looks like purgatory. Purple lightning tears at Yi Bei's body. The heavens roar, trying to crush this arrogant intruder into dust. Yi Bei ignites a flame in his palm. The spark that starts it all. Boom! Fire meets thunder in a violent clash, exploding into a wave of red and purple destruction that shakes the void. A massive shockwave is coming. Tai Bai stands firm at the front, sword in hand. Go down and cultivate, leave this to me. In this moment, she is not the guilty disciple, but the guardian. A miracle occurs. The violent blue energy sphere shrinks rapidly, all destructive power forcibly absorbed by Yi Bei. As he exhales a final breath, silence returns to the world. Congratulations on entering the Saint Realm, Master. Te dai eptroifis. Yi Bei looks at the system prompt. 5 disciples reached Emperor Realm, and smiles in surprise. So you are the 5th. Cherry blossoms fall, warming the air. Yi Bei rests a hand on Tai Bai's shoulder, eyes full of anticipation. Since you can sense it, can you track down your other sisters? Tai Bai senses for a moment and points southwest of the Middle Kingdom. Yi Bei's face changes instantly. That's the cursed place where the demon body was found. The clues finally connect. Above the clouds, Yi Bei's voice is cold and commanding. Pass the order. Worship Day is next month. Tai Bai looks up in shock, only to hear the most insane command. It is time to officially declare war on the 9 sacred lands. Far away, a terrifying aura erupts. Surrounded by blue light, a mysterious figure with eyes cold as ice declares the collapse of the old order. No, from now on, there are only 8 sacred lands. Meanwhile, with a solemn expression, the silver-haired disciple reports the latest intelligence. Though Qianxi has fallen, the 3rd-ranked Starlight Sacred Land remains a titan, its secluded master a looming threat. She worries that thousands of years have opened a gate to a higher realm. But Yi Bei just smirks, his eyes deep. The secrets behind the sacred lands are complex, yet he seems to know all, fearless. Above the sea of clouds, Yi Bei stands proud. He plans not only to conquer the Starlight Sacred Land, but to surprise his scattered disciples. Looking at the trusting faces beside him, a rare tenderness flashes in his eyes. Golden twilight bathes the altar as Yi Bei looks down upon his 5 respectful disciples. The air is thick with holiness. A reunion delayed for 300 years is about to unfold. Upon learning that Linger suffered imprisonment alone for years, the disciples kneel in shock and guilt. Tears stream down their faces, hating their ignorance, the heavy atmosphere suffocating. The authoritative command falls, instantly turning into gentle power. With a wave of Yi Bei's hand, blue spiritual energy surges, lifting the kneeling disciples. This is not punishment, but the Master's silent forgiveness and protection. It is not your fault. Yi Bei's voice cuts through the energy vortex, untying the knots in his disciples' hearts. The pink-haired girl lowers her head, finding long-lost relief and warmth in the sea of flowers from her memories. Petals fall as Yi Bei's expression returns to majesty. The past is gone. He commands them to rise, for a new mission awaits. There are more important things to do for their master. Bidding farewell, Yi Bei decides to head to the Middle Realm for clues. The purple-haired disciple excitedly presents an improved high-speed airship. This thoughtful aid brings a smile of approval to Yi Bei's face. The path of revenge accelerates. Next month, we reunite at my tomb. Yi Bei swears to the heavens, leaving behind this shocking promise. The adventure of this chapter pauses here, but a grander journey has only just begun. Central Domain, Vermilion Bird City. At the bustling city gate, everyone is shocked to find the beast race enjoying privileges, entering without queuing. This naked discrimination raises suspicion and indignation. It turns out this anomaly stems from a bounty. The Demon Emperor's time is near. The four great Demon Emperors have proclaimed to the world, seeking alchemists to extend his life. Whoever defies fate will gain endless wealth and status. Yi Bei blends into the crowd, smiling as he asks a passerby about the four great Demon Emperors. As they are described, four terrifying figures emerge in his mind, but the final name sends a jolt through his heart. The great heavenly saint, Sun Wuxiao. Hearing this name, Yi Bei's composure instantly crumbles into ecstasy and excitement. That is his fifth disciple who cultivated the Tao of strength. He could never be mistaken. The gates of memory crash open. A century ago, she swept through the demon realm as a saint king, standing alone atop the ruins. Her untamed spirit even subdued the demon emperor, earning her the title of Great Saint. The day she became emperor was the time for slaughter. In the image, Sun Wuxiao turns her back to the world, facing the sky-blotting giant fist without fear. She not only shook the sacred land, but seized a divine weapon, forging her invincible reputation. Yi Bei taps his fingers, his mind drifting back to the past. The 9-life heavenly pill card can extend life by a century, but the list of rare materials required weighs heavily on his thoughts. Moreover, the pill can only be consumed once in a lifetime. A faint, confident smile plays on his lips as he accepts the challenge. Failure is not an option. 30 minutes later, at the registry, Yi Bei calmly declares 7th grade. The clerk's brush freezes in midair, his pupils shaking in sheer shock. The blue-haired clerk leans in aggressively, veins bulging on his forehead, his voice dropping to a menacing warning filled with disdain for liars. The clerk invokes the name Yao Xing Chun to intimidate him. Hearing that familiar name, Yi Bei's casual demeanor vanishes, replaced by a spark of recognition and memory. Being told he's inferior to his own disciple? A vein pops on Yi Bei's forehead as he swallows the urge to roar, "I am her master," his gaze turning ice cold. Tired of the nonsense, Yi Bei turns and leaves. A recruitment poster catches his eye, and he stops an old man for directions, a confident smile returning to his face. Even as he walks away, the mockery regarding his low cultivation echoes in his ears. That scornful look serves as a reminder. Power is the only currency here. Facing skepticism, Yi Bei clenches his fist. As the woman in blue explains the association's high standards, a glint of understanding and determination flashes in his eyes. Sensing something extraordinary about him, the woman extends an olive branch. Her warm smile contrasts sharply with the previous cold shoulder. A new opportunity awaits. Entry is surprisingly smooth, without a single question asked. As Yi Bei steps through the gate, a drop of cold sweat slides down his temple. It's suspiciously easy. The hall is dead silent, filled with rows of solemn figures in gray robes. The air feels thick and stagnant, an invisible pressure putting Yi Bei instantly on alert. On the high platform, Peng Shan breaks the silence. As Yao Xing Chen's disciple, his peak Saint Emperor aura dominates the room as he announces the test. As the test is announced, the candidate's faces pale, cold sweat trickling down. Yi Bei narrows his eyes, sensing a terrifying power on the verge of eruption. Boom! A terrifying pressure sweeps through the hall like a tsunami, knocking people off balance. Only Yi Bei stands firm in the gale, a playful smile curling his lips. Step back and you're out. The brutal rule lands amidst the wails of the students. This is a ruthless purge of the will, having nothing to do with alchemy skills. Stardust Association is domineering indeed. Yi Bei adjusts his hat, unfazed. This unreasonable method of selection is, however, quite interesting to him. As a terrifying aura permeates the air, Yi Bei sharply senses a powerful presence, the pressure of a late-stage Saint Realm expert, with danger sparking in the atmosphere. Meanwhile, the Stardust Alchemy Association selection is brutally underway. The examiner coldly dismisses the failures, for this place belongs only to true alchemy geniuses. As the second round begins, Examiner Xing Chen's gaze suddenly locks onto Yi Bei, a flicker of disdain in his eyes. A mere Saint Realm level 1 dares to be here? However, the moment their eyes meet, Xing Chen's heart skips a beat. The boy's gaze is an unfathomable abyss, even more terrifying than his own master's stare. Xing Chen hurriedly looks away, forcibly suppressing the shock within, trying to rationalize his fear. Taking a deep breath, he announces the task: refine a Qingxin pill. Looking at the recipe, Yi Bei's lips curl into an amused smirk. For a grade 4 alchemist like him, this task is laughably simple. But then, the examiner drops a bombshell. No alchemy furnaces allowed. The crowd erupts in panic, yet Yi Bei remains composed, finding the challenge rather amusing. Around him, candidates oscillate between self-motivation and despair, terrified of wasting their only set of materials. Tension and anxiety fill the air, leaving only Yi Bei unperturbed. While others hesitate, Yi Bei tosses all ingredients into the air at once. Blue spiritual energy erupts instantly, a manic move that horrifies the onlookers. Brilliant spiritual fire dances in his palm. Xing Chen stares at the light, sweating profusely. How can a mere boy possess the effortless aura of a grandmaster? In the blink of an eye, purification is complete. The terrifying efficiency makes other candidates suspect cheating, gasps echoing through the hall. Watching the perfectly rotating liquid, Xing Chen's worldview begins to crumble. He has to admit, this boy's talent might be 100 times greater than his own master's. With a crisp snap, he integrates the Tao of arrays into alchemy. This mastery of dual paths explodes like thunder among the crowd. Everything is ready, save for the final step. Everyone's breath seems to hitch, eyes glued to the floating orb of light. Suddenly, the light dims. The pill seems imperfect. Xing Chen shakes his head in regret, thinking this stunning performance ends in a temperature control error. No, it's not over, someone screams. Yi Bei clenches his hand, forcibly reversing the energy flow, crushing the dissipating power back into the pill. Boom! Accompanied by a violent surge of energy, the legendary pill mist erupts. This isn't failure. It's the birth of a peerless, god-tier pill. Amidst falling petals, Yi Bei toys with the pill. Hearing the crowd question his humanity, he smugly calculates the cultivation boost this pill will bring, a triumphant smile on his lips. Facing the blonde youth's probing, Yi Bei's lips curl into a confident smirk. Since the invitation is offered, he'll see exactly what game is being played. When asked about his master, Yi Bei calmly replies, "None." These words strike like thunder in Peng Shan's heart, instantly turning his arrogance into shock. Peng Shan actually suggests Yi Bei study under Xing Chen. Yi Bei freezes, asking him to worship his own disciple. The hierarchy would be utterly absurd. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a red-haired woman gazes intensely, her golden pupils radiating commanding authority, like the calm before a storm. Mentioning the tearful Xing Chen, the red-haired woman's gaze softens with sly warmth. She comforts the anxious girl, her mind drifting to the distant past. But warmth is fleeting. The cruel reality remains. Like the demon elder of the past, her life force is fading and despair creeps in her heart. Interlude, a call from the reality dimension. The Scanlation team is recruiting new allies. Your power is needed to continue the story. Back at the trade, Yi Bei chuckles internally at the eager sellers. They aren't scammers. They're a godsend supply depot delivering exactly what he needs. Longevity fruit, azure flower. As Yi Bei lists these rare treasures, Peng Shan's eyes widen. This isn't just alchemy, it's squandering miracles. Yi Bei gives a command that brooks no refusal. Peng Shan instantly becomes an errand boy, racing to complete this impossible task in just 15 minutes. Ingredients ready. Peng Shan prepares to leave, but Yi Bei's command to stay leaves him flattered and blushing with excitement. Blue light erupts, ingredients float. Yi Bei's godlike technique makes Peng Shan gasp. This is the legendary, long-lost alchemy art. The nether furnace emerges, spinning wildly within a vortex of purple and blue energy. Its terrifying efficiency leaves the observer speechless with shock. The process reaches fever pitch, the furnace roaring. Suddenly, Peng Shan tenses up. Any outside disturbance now could mean death and destruction. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure descends. Peng Shan rushes to the corridor, pupils constricting as cold sweat instantly beads on his forehead. Above, dark clouds crush down as lightning snakes wildly. This is a pill, tribulation. Only the birth of a heaven-defying pill invokes such divine wrath. Amidst the storm, a fiery figure stands proud. City Lord Zhu Ke arrives, drawn by the anomaly, harboring deep suspicion beneath her shielded gaze. Facing the City Lord's interrogation, Peng Shan lies to cover for him. Meanwhile, a roar erupts from inside as the furnace's energy blasts into the sky. Purple lightning tears through the night sky, striking the ancient grounds with the force of a celestial judgment. Amidst the smoke, a purple crystal emerges, crackling with raw energy that explodes outward, stealing the breath of all who watch. Eyes fixed on the heavens, they tremble before the destructive power. Did the alchemy succeed, or has disaster struck? Ad break. The fourth wall shatters momentarily as cat-eared girls invite you to join their digital realm. The pill is barely cool when Yi Bei tosses it carelessly to Peng Shan. Eat it. The command is absolute, leaving Peng Shan stunned by this heavy gift. 10 minutes pass. Yi Bei sits shrouded in a green aura, his breath stabilizing as he recovers from the immense toll of the refinement. Energy erupts into a pillar of light. Yi Bei's eyes snap open, sharp as blades, while the City Lord watches from the shadows, calculating every move. The City Lord's pupils dilate in pure shock. The wave of life force hitting him is undeniable, shattering his composure. 300 years. The words hang heavy in the air. Greed ignites instantly in every heart. This isn't just medicine, it's life itself. The City Lord grabs Peng Shan, his voice trembling with urgency. Will this work on him? Desperation burns in his eyes. Peng Shan stares at the pill, cold sweat dripping. Even a flawed batch holds such power, yet the alchemist is merely at the saint realm. The absurdity breeds terrifying respect. They exchange glances, logic screaming impossible, yet the truth lies before them. What kind of monster hides within this young man's frame? Even so, it grants only 100 years. Peng Shan's warning is grim, yet it fails to douse the City Lord's hope. A century is enough to change destiny. The rainy night turns cold. The City Lord pours tea, his polite tone barely masking the icy threat. Master Yi, come with me to the demon realm. It is not a request. Ad break. A momentary pause in the tension to invite you to the community Discord. The City Lord turns away with a sneer, murder in his heart. Refuse my offer? Fine. I'll simply take the pill from your corpse, weakling. In the face of a semi-emperor's bloodlust, Yi Bei simply closes his eyes, savoring his tea, as if the coming storm is nothing but a breeze. Planning to rob me? Yi Bei sets down his cup, eyes dancing with mockery. Try it if you dare, or have the great sage beg me personally. The gauntlet is thrown. In the dimly lit chamber, two figures sit back to back, sweating profusely. They cannot fathom Yi Bei's insane decision. Why force the temperamental Zhu Ke to invite someone instead of just robbing them? Flashing back to the confrontation, Yi Bei smiles calmly amidst surging golden light. In the next split second, terrifying energy erupts, instantly reducing the courtyard to rubble. Meanwhile, atop the snowy peak, the blonde disciple's face pales. Remembering her master's kindness, her gaze hardens, and she dives off the cliff, determined to stop the rampaging Zhu Ke. Purple lightning tears through the sky as a figure crashes like a meteor into the ancient complex, sending debris flying. From the dust, a furious roar erupts. Zhu Ke, I'm not done with you yet. Amidst a rain of falling petals, Yi Bei stands with hands behind his back, composed. Opposite him, Zhu Ke looks disheveled, realizing the screams were her own, while Yi Bei even has the audacity to praise her strength. Upon learning Yi Bei is only at the first stage of the Saint Realm, the humiliation drives Zhu Ke into a frenzy. She swallows a spirit pill, her face twisting as violent energy instantly breaks through her limits. Accompanied by a deafening boom, Zhu Ke hovers in midair, dazzling wings of light unfurling behind her. Terrifying pressure sweeps across the field, threatening to crush everything in sight. Yet the glory lasts but seconds. Her human form cannot withstand the lightning tribulation. Zhu Ke kneels and begs for mercy, but Yi Bei only smiles ruthlessly. Once the lightning is unleashed, it won't stop until it hits its target. Under the clear, calm sky, Yi Bei raises an eyebrow, his eyes filled with mockery and provocation. What? Want to try again? Zhu Ke knows Yi Bei held back on that last strike. Shame and defeat make her grit her teeth. To save her life, she transforms into a fiery dragon, soaring into the sky while roaring her agreement to deliver the message. Watching Zhu Ke vanish into the horizon, Yi actually muses about making it his mount. Beside him, the disciple worries. If the great sage really comes, can the situation still be controlled? The scene shifts to the demon race's core territory, where a golden light cuts through the sky. Zhu Ke lands heavily, ignoring the dust, and kneels before the tower. Zhu Ke seeks an audience with the great sage. Amidst drifting petals, one of the 5 leaders of the demon race, Sun Wuxia, appears. Arms crossed, ears twitching slightly. Her gaze is as cold as ice. Speak. What do you want? Zhu Ke urgently reports finding a pill that can extend the demon emperor's life. A trace of impatience and skepticism flashes in Sun Wuxia's eyes. She has heard such lies too many times and is numb to them. That senior is a 9th-grade alchemist. This sentence strikes like thunder, instantly shattering Sun Wuxia's indifference. Her pupils constrict as she stares fixedly at Zhu Ke. Zhu Ke seeches bem chão as a weakness. Sun Wuxia leans down, killing intent radiating from her, her tone bone-chilling. If you are lying to me, this old woman will make you wish you were dead. Under the immense pressure, Zhu Ke sweats profusely and tremblingly delivers the final condition. That master said, "If you want the pill, you must go personally to invite him." Ha ha, me go personally? Sun Wuxia laughs in extreme anger, arrogant battle intent igniting in her eyes. Meanwhile, Yi waits leisurely in the distance. A dramatic reunion is about to unfold. Bini at falling cherry blossoms, Yi happily savors a candied haw. His nonchalance utterly baffles Pangshan. How can he be so relaxed when danger looms? Before their chat ends, a golden streak tears through the sky. As the phoenix dives, the surname Yi strikes Zhu Ke like a thunderclap, stirring a memory of the only legend she knows. Wings blotting out the sun, the golden phoenix circles with thunderous power. The white-haired maiden atop gazes down, her voice dripping with scrutiny and authority. With a deafening boom, golden flames hit the ground. Yi descends, his gaze icy cold. The terrifying pressure instantly suffocates the crowd, freezing the very air around them. Tension snaps tight as a hand grabs a sleeve. Everyone holds their breath at this seeming offense, bracing for an earth-shattering clash between the great sage and the demon emperor. But in the next second, the world turns upside down. The exalted great sage slams her knees into the ground, reducing herself to humble dust before this red-haired man, leaving everyone in shock. Tears burst forth as Sun Wuxia trembles violently. Her cry, "Unfilial disciple greets master," carries 300 years of longing and guilt, echoing through the skies. End of chapter, followed by recruitment ads.